Right, good morning, team. Just going to frame up our shot. Make sure we've got everything in. Oh yeah, looking good. Pretty good. Right, we'll just adjust slightly. There we go. Nice. Hey. Right, welcome to the party. Oh, here I am with my coffee, resting down, ready to go. I don't know if I'm ready to go. Yes, I will get another whiteboard marker. It is meant to be one with a big fat tip, but it doesn't seem to very like I think it's running out. That's why I start really well and it finishes very badly. Okay. So that's hence why you probably can't read the last part of it. But that's all right. I'll fill you in on the information. Just doing a little bit of rate work today. We're going to do six-minute pieces. Going to have 100 seconds off in between. I thought we'll go for a larger number on the rest period. Thought that maybe 2 minutes might be a little bit long. Minutes definitely too short. So I thought, hey, we'll go somewhere in the middle. And we've used 90 seconds before, so I thought let's just give it a little bit more, and hopefully that'll just help us because then we can commit a little bit more. You'll be surprised, okay? Be surprised. Just if we can just commit a little bit more to the time during the set, and then just allow ourselves to not just sit on the recovery and do nothing, okay? Just allows us to have that minute or so, and then we can just put a little bit more pressure back on, okay, to active recovery. So we'll talk a little bit about that active recovery today. And yeah, so as the workout goes, as I say, I'm trying to look at it myself. It's very, very difficult on that third and fourth one. I will get some more markers this week. Trust me. Okay, so the first set is just 3 minutes, 20 and 22. The second set is the same, but at 22 and 24. Okay, so we'll just allow some bit more freedom. Then we're going to do 2-minute changes for the third and the fourth set. And that starts at 22, 24, 26. And then the next one after that's 24, 26, 28. Okay, so we're starting to get up in rate here. This is where the efficiency is going to come in. This is where we've got to be really focused on the front end pickup, allowing the hands around the back. Okay, we'll get on to all of that as we go. The fifth set is a 1-2-2-1. Okay, it's 24, 26, 28, and 30. Okay, so the bulk of the material is that 4 minutes at 26 and 28. Okay, breathe it off, moving in to the last set, and that's 1 minute changes. We'll start at 22, so we'll end at 32. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Boom. Okay, that's the deal. That's the deal for today. Very, very similar themes that we'll be working on. If anyone has got anything specifically, chuck it in the chat like now, that you would like me to talk about or explain a little bit more or cover while we're doing this. Otherwise, we will go through all the parts as we do, okay, and we'll focus on different things, different aspects. As we get that rating up, we'll keep focusing more on the speed coming in, speed coming out, okay, moving the hands as we get tired, okay, because this workout's going to have everything involved in it. It's going to have some good steady stuff in that first sort of 2 sets. Then we're going to get into some medium rate. We're going to start getting uncomfortable, which is perfect. Okay, we want to be uncomfortable. And then once we've got that, then we'll talk about getting that speed going, maintaining the speed. Okay, So we've got one thing is how to increase the swing, okay? How to increase the swing. The thing with the swing is when you're getting speed on the machine, it's all about momentum. It's all about our speed. So once we get our speed, it's about trying to maintain that so that we don't feel like we're cutting ourselves off or we're having to race back to get to the front. Okay, and this is why specifically as well, we need to just as you use your machine more, as the meters and everything click over, the speed of travel of the chain to do that. Okay, I don't want you to break your machine, but we need that to be going back pretty quick. Okay, if it's a bit lethargic coming back to the front, we need to look at our bungee that's in our machine, and we need to probably replace it. It's like a $5 job. Okay, and there's videos and stuff online about how to do it. But ultimately, because we're talking about a machine here, the ability for this to really take us back, see how fast that goes. So when I always talk about this momentum around the back to allow ourselves to just follow the chain, see how quick that is. Okay, that's what we want to be able to do so we can get our bodies moving and then go back with the machine. That's one of the ways to really look at increasing our swing. But we will also talk about it in terms of how do we create that during the drive. Now, the other part of this as well, as we always talk about, is remember that if you're really starting to struggle, let's take the fourth one, for example, 2-minute changes, 24, 26, 28. If you feel like you're already struggling there to try and create some speed and create momentum, change your drag. Okay, drop it down half a number. At the end of that set, go, you know what, shit, I'm really going to struggle the next one to get it up and hold that 28 for 2 minutes and that 30 for a minute. Then just change, make a little adaptation on the thing. Your numbers shouldn't drop too much. They might drop one split, go slower, who gives a shit, okay? But you'll be able to find that momentum. And then when you're actually up in speed and now you've got a little bit more acceleration in the legs, once you get used to it, you'll probably actually change and the numbers will get better. Okay, go figure. But that's really how it works, because if we start getting lethargic and slow during the thing, we're not using the speed of these big muscles through the back, through the legs, okay, really to be able to create that speed and momentum. So that's what that's one thing that we'll talk about. And just always remember that setup, even though you've got a setup on the machine, don't be afraid to change it or try things, okay, to push yourself out of the zone. If you're not doing a lot of rate work and then you're struggling when you do, then obviously that's a good time to change. And so it's just a matter of figuring that out for yourself over your course of your journey and how you're using it. I used to be a continuous flat 130 drag all day long. But I had started to change it. Okay, I'm definitely not as strong as I used to be. Not as fit as super fit, I should say. I'm fit, just not super fit. And so when I do longer pieces and longer time on the machine, I do find bringing it down half a number to be a lot more efficient. Okay, so just putting that out there for you guys. So we're going to do 3 or 4 minutes of warm up today. We want to get quite warm for this, and then we're going to rip into it. So my coffee's been sitting here staring at me, smelling beautifully. Oh, I love it. And it is 5:10 here in the morning in New Zealand. So let's get locked in. Kick into your warm up now. And then once you got warmed up, once you feel like you need a stretch, and that's the thing, everyone's different in their warm up. Some people don't like a lot, some people need a lot, some people need to stop and have a stretch before we kick into it. You know the drill. We're going to be about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes from now, and we'll be into the game. So jump on, get ready to rock and roll. Let's do this. Oh, stunning. Hey, right, let's go. Okay. Nice and comfy. Getting the back moving for myself. My go-to warm-up. Nice with the body. Just building it out. Okay. Remember, just hanging long to start. Nice long arms. Leaving them out there. Always just thinking about that hang. Always remember, as we're just sitting here, even if you've got to close your eyes, don't worry about what it sort of looks like. It feels, we want that feeling. When your eyes are shut, you can feel if you stop at the back or stop at the front, okay? You've got this ability to be able to feel the rhythm around the back, around the front. Okay, sometimes we're only just doing it to take away from what it looks like to what it feels like. Okay, good. So we should be able to start putting a little bit of pressure on now. Feeling those feet. Long arms. So even now in this warm-up, think about how we're pushing the feet and we're opening out the body. Okay, while we're not under too much strain and stress, as we push, leave the arms long, and we sit back through the stroke. Okay? We get that sequencing of the muscle groups. Big muscles in the legs, transferring through the glutes, the back. So we're pushing everything together right through the middle of the stroke. Good. So just firm it up now for the last sort of 30 seconds. Always sinking the hang. To push. Okay, last little bit. Nice. Okay. So as we get up and rate, we should be able to find that what we do in these first couple of sets, the 3 minutes at 20 and 22, and then the second one at 22, 24, we're really going to look and we're going to set ourselves up a platform which will increase our body momentum and our speed through the third and the fourth set. Then we start getting into the ugly stuff with the high rate. Okay, and by that stage, we'll really have a good grasp on keeping our hang, using our body, using our momentum. And as we get tired, The idea is that we don't revert back to our old habits, okay? We're just going to really try and break into the new stuff, the things that we're really trying to work on, okay, for as long as we can. Ultimately, breaking bad habits is the hardest thing to do. We always revert back to grabbing or doing what we know or we've done for so long. And hence why if we really knuckle down in the first part, really try and focus in the middle sets, try as best as we can in the last part to hold ourselves once we're under that stress, okay, that's where we're going to get it. So have a drink, have a stretch, do what you need to do. Otherwise, let's jump into our setup. Okay, you know how this works. Same as select workout, new workout, intervals, time. Okay, we're going up to 6 minutes. And then obviously with the rest time, we are going to 1:40, which is 100 seconds. 1 minute and 40 seconds. Okay, I'll leave that flashing for a couple of seconds. Make sure we're good to go. Lock and load. Does everyone have audio? Oh yeah, sorry, I just had to double check. No, we're good. I think the AirPods are connected, so we must be fine. Okay. There it is. Making sure it's only there for the tech, just in case we crash halfway through. Right, that's there. Drag. What are we on? 5.5. That'll do. Okay, cool. Let's go. Remember, first set, 3 minute, 2022. Here we go. Right. Are you ready? Rope. Okay, right into that rhythm. Continuous motion. Okay, continuous motion is the same at any rating. Everything is just moving at a proportionate pace to the stroke rate itself. And what I mean by that is that we don't want to be like really quick and slow or anything, or slow and really quick. Everything feels like it's moving at that proportion of the 20. You'll feel the time on the drive, time on the recovery. Good. Nice hang. Good start to the piece. Just looking for this flow, this momentum. So as we're pushing, we're allowing that body to swing off the legs. Even though you're listening to me, just have a moment to listen to the urge. One smooth woof, through the dry. Relate that to how we're pressing. and opening out. Nice and steady around the catch. Talk about sitting tall, but I think holding our posture, whatever that posture is, thinking about being proud and set is a better thing than sitting tall. You don't want to be bowled upright. Nice position. Okay, up 2 now. Remember hand speed. Don't focus on more pressure. Just focus on the movement. The pressure's naturally going to come. You've just got to move the hands. The leg speed increases. Really focus now. Long arms. Feel the body. Swinging through the middle. Arms out long. Always trying to push away from the handles. The hands are always going to come back to us because they're just an extension. Feel like we've got to grab them to feel the pressure. Just keep working on this hand. The arms are strong enough, the muscle groups, to hold that tremendous amount of weight in our arms and our hands. So let that happen while we press, open out. Good. Really smooth. Round the front turn, round the back turn. There it is. Continuous motion. Nice work. The flow. Remember, this is just finding a smooth, continuous rhythm. Feel that push. Starting through the feet. Hanging under the armpits. Nice and flat. Nice and loose. Okay, last 15 seconds, take out the tension. Breathe into it. Feel the body movement. Okay, easy. So, okay, quite an easy first piece. Sets up the tone. Sets ourselves up for what we're trying to achieve. So as the rating and everything starts to come up, just remember that focus, that even now, just think about off the catch. We don't need to feel like we've got the strength here in the arms. Okay, the hang here, when we come to the front and we just push away from the handle, we leave it out long and we just push. Our arms and our hands can hang a tremendous amount of weight, 5-10 times more than we're producing here in the push. Okay, you can see people lifting massive weights off the ground and all they're doing is holding on with their arms and their hands. We're no different. We're in this horizontal position, so we can just really feel that hang. Right under the armpits, we want to feel it right through here, down into the lats. Okay, and that allows us to feel that push and then open out with the body And as we come through here, the body is swinging back, arms just finishing through together. Okay, starting this one at 22 now. So let's find our rhythm first before we push down onto the speed. So here's our 22. Once we've got our movement in the first sort of 15, 20 seconds, which we've obviously been through, and the machine's up and running, now we start to focus on the sequence, the hang. Because the flywheel's now at its speed, we're thinking about picking that up. Speed of the flywheel. The reason we've got to really work on this front end change is because the gearing system is picking up the flywheel, but the flywheel's already moving at quite a speed. So we're not picking up a maximum pressure here at the catch. We're picking up the speed that it's currently going. That's why I've got to go away from thinking, oh, I've got to get it really hard at the front, like, got to get the weight, to being like, I've got to move with the speed. Come forward, long arms, feel the hang. Good. Okay, and if we do have the drag factor pretty high, then obviously the air escapes. Heavier and heavier to get out the front. Hence why having a play or finding something that works for you is an individual preference. Or when we get into the rate, having to drop it a little bit because we can no longer sustain that pickup pace. Okay? So, feel that push. Really focus on long arms today. And as we're pushing, the body comes through. The arms are a complete afterthought. They're just holding, and they come to us just as the legs are finishing. Right, up 2. Now, remember, hand speed, leg speed. Nice. Now we're getting into a real swing motion. Hold it long and press away. Nice. Okay, good rhythm here. So let's start to focus as we're coming forward. The weight coming onto the feet. There. Smooth change in direction. No hitting the catch. Roll in and roll out. Good. Nice. Good momentum. Really good. Good flow. Been loose around the back. Remember, let the hands flow away. The bungee just takes the hands with it. Hands out over the knees. Flow forward. Good. Okay, breathing. Feeling that body getting pushed backwards. I think that's one of the key terminologies. The body's being pushed back by the legs. Okay, we're not pushing and then trying to swing. See the difference? As we're pushing, the body using our muscles, sequence firing, pushing it back, so they finish pretty close together. That's why got to initiate with the feet to start, but then the body comes in, push back. Good, last couple. Nice. Okay. Really good. So we'll keep that same focus for this next set. As we start going up in the rate, we're only going to add a little bit more speed than what we had, but keep working on what we've just been talking about around the hang here, okay, the initiation with the legs. But as we start to push back, we start here and the legs drive the body like that, okay? We don't want to be like that and then try and swing the body. And we also don't want to go like that, take the body too soon. If we think about the arms being long, okay, we do that straight arm exercise where as we're pushing, the legs are pushing the body to the back. And that's one of the key elements. Okay, and then as soon as we've done that, remember that all of this here shouldn't take any of our effort. Should be able to do this all day long by just hands away, chain speed taking us forward, whatever rate. Remember, look how fast we can push those hands away. Okay, and we can come back. See, I can't even catch up with the chain, and that's super fast. So remembering, let our momentum take us around the back, forward, whatever rating we need to get to. Here we go. Now, 22. Remember from the last one, to find the rhythm here. Try and get onto it as quickly as possible. Then we squeeze down onto our speed. So that's our 22. Now we find our rhythm. Hanging long. Feel the press. Opening out. Good. Nice motion. Good. There it is. Continuous. Nice long arms. Feel that body driven back with the legs. Handle brushes the body. We recover. Nice and relaxed. Loose arms. You want to get set. Hands just start flowing out, but we're not tense on this recovery. We can breathe. We're in a 90% set position. We're ready to take that smooth take up. Here we go, up 2. Now. And speed and acceleration. right? Proportion. Everything's just moving quicker. Good. Feel the compression. With this new handle speed, as it takes us back to the catch. Okay, breathing into it. Remember, work the drive, breathe on the recovery. Our work and rest ratio. Long arms. Remember to hang. Keep that movement nice and free. Trying to do less, but get more. Okay? Less tension, we can get more speed. Less lift, get more speed. Less grab, get more speed. Okay? Focus the handle. Around the back, coming forward. And then around the front. Changing direction. Don't stop. And grab. Feel it move around. Momentary pause change. Right. Up two. Now, remember hand speed and acceleration. Good. Remember, don't overwork it. We'll push and open. Body. And just keep moving the hands. Body momentum comes with our leg speed. Load too much, the back will never come with it. Hang. Acceleration. Follow the hand around the back. Good. Breathe. Okay, stay nice and loose. We've got to make this continuous. As easy as possible. Work, rest. Hang. Flow. Nice. That's good. Good. The momentum. Good carry. Nice. Okay, we've kept that up. On top of it. All the way. Okay, row it out. Get your breath. Okay, big breaths. So, see how when that momentum gets up, we can just sit into a rhythm. We can keep it moving along. Especially in training, we really got to work on our momentum through the drive, back onto the recovery, finding the ratio so that we can maintain for whatever time we've got left on the screen at whatever pressure. Okay, so have a quick drink if you need it. Okay, and with 25 seconds to go, we're just going to start to firm it a little bit. Okay, active recovery. Thanks, Siri. Okay, so just with this a little bit longer in recovery, you start now, just put a little bit of weight behind the handle, okay, so that we don't hit the line really cold. Okay, this is going to be at 24, 26, 28. Okay, the first real tester of this piece. Here we go. Moving. Now, hands. Start by finding our flow. Okay, there it is. There's our rate. Now, we just work it down. We start adding our acceleration. We've got our hands moving. Good. Okay, this is our base. This is set us up for the piece. Feel the body open out. Remember, it just opens out once. There's only one push. Don't want to try and have a go at the finish. Everything's sitting back. Good. Hang and push. Momentum. Feel the swing. Good. Okay, breathe. Remember, we're tapping this along. Looking the speed of the front. Roll in and away. The compression of our packer is what pushes us away. There and away. No bounce. No hit or grab. Hey, roll in. Full pack up. And away. Here we go. Up two. Now. Remember, we know how to do it. Hands around. There's our new rhythm. Lock that in. Good. Momentum with the body. Feel that swing. Push. As we're pushing the legs, body coming with it. Long arms. Leave them out there. Push away from the handle. Good. Another minute at this. Nice. Smooth. Good hand. I feel how continuous we make it. Even though we're working, just remember the flywheel's moving faster. We're doing the same thing with the picker. You don't have to add more power because the flywheel's already moving quick. Up to this one. Now, hands. Good. Put them around. Okay, stay loose. Handles coming forward. There it is. Feel that hang. Breathe into it. Nice. Okay, good. Round the back. Last minute at this. Just maintain. Pick up the front. Hang long. Remember to initiate the legs. Legs. Open out the body in one movement. Good. Hands to us. Good. Nice. Okay, hold there. Maintain. And press. And half it along. Okay, good. So keep moving. Okay, it's starting to get up there now. It's what I said at the start around the first couple. And it'd be a get our set up, get the way we're trying to achieve it. Those two, about putting ourselves under a little bit of pressure, trying to maintain what we're trying to focus on. Okay. Now these last two are about trying to maintain it for as long as you can. Okay, so it's going to get difficult. This one, not too much more difficult, but the fatigue that's building up in our bodies is going to make it tire us out through the piece. Okay, so really focus on what we're trying to achieve. Work on the little parts of the stroke that you really need to work on. As I mentioned, you think it's going to get a little bit behind, like you won't be able to keep up. Drop it half a number. Okay, and that'll allow us to, when we get the speed come in the front, the acceleration, to be able to get the drive back, to create this momentum around to get back onto the next stroke. Okay, firm it up. Whoa. Here we go. 24 now. So one at 24, two at 26, two at 28, one at 30. Okay, so we've got to get on here quickly. 24 with me. Okay, let's feel the hang. Long arms. Good. Remember, underneath the armpit, pushing away from the handle. Nice. Right, ready to change. Remember, use that momentum. Here we go. Now, good. Handle speed around the back. Speed on the recovery. Being loose. Feel that body coming off the legs. One push back. Summation of forces. Good. Feel this bungee. Taking us forward. Good. Feel that setup. With the swing. Good. Nice. Okay, so this is just a continuous motion. Back and forward. Staying loose. Staying relaxed. Okay, vital on the change up. Just create more momentum. Don't think about working harder. That'll come naturally. Here we go. Move the hands. This one. Now. Okay, there's a bit more acceleration. Remember, not outright thinking about working harder. A bit more speed. Push. That's where we're doing it. Naturally and easily. Hey, breathe with me. Find the breathing rhythm. While we're moving the hands. Okay, let's hang with me now. Long arms. Focus on the handle. Brush the body in around. Natural compression. Not reaching for any more. Good. Holding the speed. Holding this rhythm. Breathe into it. Tap it along. Hang off the front. Clicking the flywheel. Right. R2. Now, hands. Long arm. Legs are driving the body. Let the hands go around the fin. Not tense. Tap the flywheel. Good. Hold this last 20 seconds. Five more strokes. Hold this. Okay, good. Nice work, team. Okay, breathe into it. Keep moving. Got to move now. First 40, 50 seconds. Breathe. Leave the arms long. Just let some blood come back into the muscles. Good. Okay, so last set. Hopefully you found that reasonably manageable. So we're putting everything together in this last piece. Okay, have a quick drink. while you're rowing if you can. Wipe the sweat off. So, last set, 22 to 32. We're changing every minute. Put everything into practice. Keep the hands moving there. Acceleration. Feel this change in direction around the front. Picking that flywheel as best as we can. Starting to firm. Okay, 22 is going to be easy. Here we go. Now, first couple of minutes here. Really going to set the scene. Okay, here we are. This is our platform. This is where we're going from. Nice and consistent. Okay, so what we're doing now, in terms of all our movements, as I've said a couple of times, proportionately increases. Hand speed, leg speed, recovery speed, body speed. Just keeps increasing that 5% on all the movements as we go up in rate. Okay, here we go. 24, how do we do it? We move the hands. A little bit more acceleration on the legs. Good. Nice. Yeah, good rhythm. Okay, so that's all we're doing. Just going to keep climbing through the rates, adding that little bit extra, maintaining as we keep building. Okay, it's all about speed. Here we go. Now, it's really easy, simple. Just remember, in the last couple of pieces, 30, 32, don't keep searching for more out the front. Just find where that natural compression comes to. Might feel a bit shorter, but same philosophy around the pickup, roll around. Long arms, stay loose here. Good. Nice push. Okay, and it's only 3 minutes to go. Changing now. Put along. Nice. Long arms with me. Feel the push. Okay, let's breathe. Stay focused on this. Motion. Legs are pushing the body back. There's our momentum. Pushing that body weight. Right, up to. Now. Feel the hang. Feel that rhythm with me. Open out. Good. Breathe in. Good. Hold this. Dial it in into the memory bank. Okay, speed. Here we go. Up. Now, hands. Remember, move the hands. Accelerate the legs. Sit back through the stroke. Brush the body. Move the hands. Last 10 strokes, 15 strokes. Here we are. Last 20 seconds. Hold. Hang. Swing. Release. Good. Last 2. Okay, good. Don't stop. Roll it out. Okay, really good. Breathe it in. We'll just keep rowing off. Okay, now that was really good. Really punchy, short. I don't know about you guys, but I sort of felt better in that one than I did in the one before. Probably because we started at that 22 and the first sort of 3 or 4 minutes was just tapping it along. It was only really those last 2 that were quite punchy and fast. Whereas the one beforehand, you know, doing that 4 minutes at 26, 28 really wore me down a bit. So let's just keep flowing through. When we get down to 0, just remember anytime now or before that, just click the menu button a couple of times, save that into the memory bank. It allows you to go back over, see where the speeds were, where you felt good. Should see a good increase right through all the pieces. But for now, we're just going to work it down. We're just going to flow back into our rhythm. Let's keep the legs moving for 2 or 3 more minutes. Just allow the oxygen to get back into our muscles. Okay, good. So, as I mentioned at the start, the workout was about getting ourselves set up, finding how we wanted to row in those first 2 sets, testing ourselves in the middle, and then really putting ourselves under that stress in those last 2 as we went up in rate. Now, don't worry if you weren't hitting the ratings towards the end. Everything's a guide, and ultimately some people can't get that high. Some people can do that very, very easily. But it's about learning what we do at 20 or at 22 and how we translate that throughout different ratings over different time periods, which ultimately allows us to look at what we're trying to achieve in terms of our own personal goals. To be able to set ourselves targets, realistic targets, be able to achieve those goals. So if we're trying for 1K, 5K, 2K, half marathon, whatever it might be, is we're trying to find a rhythm that we can sustain for a period of time. And hence, every time we get on the machine, we want to try and do it to the best of our ability, or find a way that makes it easier for us, or a technique, part of a technique that we need to work on to make it more efficient. Because at the end of the day, we're all different shapes and sizes, abilities, fitness levels, you name it. So we need to work with the machine as easily as possible to keep it going, to allow ourselves to find out where our limits are and what we can do. Because at the end of the day, doing a piece, we're basically maxing out whatever goal we've set ourselves. We don't want to get to the end of it and go, shit, I could have gone harder through the middle of it. Okay, we generally want to be getting to the finish going, man, if I had to do that for another 30 seconds, I was out. Okay, and so putting ourselves under pressure every other day in terms of training like this just allows ourselves to get to that position, that hurt zone, the uncomfortable zone. And while we're uncomfortable, trying to hold our form so that we can hold that when it matters. Because basically that's what we're trying to do. If we start losing our form now, we're going to lose it when we go to do a piece or a goal or a test or whatever we're trying to do. So when we're training, you may not see the number on the screen that you like, but if you're holding the form, that's generally a better place to be. And most of the time, it's because you've done a huge amount of work prior, and so it's never going to be as fast as you think it should be anyway. Okay? But really good work. Hopefully you were grasping that concept of really making sure we were loose, we were letting this happen as the rate came up, and really finding that proportion change from 20 rate, 22 rate, when we're just moving along at 22, when it becomes 28, we're doing the same movements, but everything is just quicker. The recovery is quicker, the drive's quicker, the hand speed's quicker, the change around the front is slightly quicker. Okay, all of those pieces are just how we have to keep looking at our equation to build up our speed. So we do it well, we have to do it well at our training zone, and then we keep holding the same form right throughout the changes, right up to the top. Okay? That's probably the best way to describe it, but one of the hardest ways that we've got to work to do it. Okay? This is why generally, because of human physiology, we just can't do work like that every day. We've got to do work at low endurance, heart rate levels. We don't need to get into heart rate, but it's just time under fitness. You know, if you were a runner, you can't just go out and sprint every day, unless you're a sprinter. But if you're trying to do that sort of, 10K run sort of area pace, 5K run pace, like those are your jams. Those are what you go and have fun with. You can't go and sprint every day. You need those long days, some days with a little bit more tempo, some days with some fast stuff. Same on that row machine. But if we do it well at the bulk, at the 70% of our volume, which is just good pace, 20 to sort of 22, 24 rating while we're on the machine, we do that very well, then we just speed it up slightly and we bring it into that higher rating. Then we put ourselves under strain at that high rating and we continue to try. And I'm always going to say try, because it is hard to maintain what you were doing at 20 at 32, because everything's a bit quicker. We sometimes feel a bit rushed, or the rating drops, so we try and cut it off shorter or whatever it is. But the idea is to do it as best as we can for as long as we can, because that's where we get that benefit. Okay? Right. Let me have a look. We'll see how much of the team I don't even know where my bloody comments are. Where's our comments? Where's our chat? I've lost our chat. Oh, there's the live chat. We've got it back. Right. Already did an old session today. We'll do this one later this week. Awesome. Jason, last 6 minutes flew by, but completely drained me. Yeah, and they will. It's nice doing minute changes because it's like change. Whoa, shit. Okay. But really good amount of work. You've got to remember that, you know, for a good majority of that, we've been up in some pretty good sort of areas of work. So it will absolutely drain you. Hence why the last session, last piece or last set of a session is generally the most difficult. Not because it's not super hard, but it's just that you're super fatigued and you're just like, man. And that's why we hold ourselves under fatigue, under that strain, and that's where we get that benefit. Oh, my butt's hurting me too. Excellent workout, full sweat. Thanks, Edward. Yeah, I'm full sweat too. It's crazy. Chris, great session, Eric. Same as you, set 5. Yep. At high rates, are you using your toes at all to help you change direction? Yes, always. Okay. Remember, there is no way. You know, when you're around that finish, it's about the transfer of weight. So what Chris is saying is that at the finish, am I pulling with my toes to help me do this? Yes, I am, 100%. There's core. We finish here, but you have to have, you can't like trying to hold your toes on here and just use your core to get around. Whew, I don't think you can do it. But this is where the suppleness of the legs comes in, because if we lock our legs out like this, okay, it's really hard to sort of, we tense up all through here. And so there's a difference between having straight legs like that and locked out. Okay, you guys see that? See that difference? So straight legs is here. So it means that when we come back forward, see how all of a sudden these are wanting to pop up from me, okay? And this is what helps get ourselves back over so we can get our hands out of the way. Whereas if we're locked out here, we've got to go, oh, and we've got to do that sort of jolt to get ourselves back forward. So yes, there's a little bit of pressure on the toes. And then as we come forward, we're trying to let that chain go as much as possible. We're allowing this momentum to go. And so, yes, we've still got a little bit of pull on the toes, but as we get up to here, it starts transferring onto the toes. So the last part coming into the front here is back onto the feet, ready to push away. Okay, so there is that transfer from the toes onto the balls of the feet. Okay, and you should feel that in your shoes or bare feet, depending on how you're doing it. Okay, but that's one of the things. Nice supple legs, a little bit on the toes. Okay, and it'll bring you forward. Another great finish. Thank you, Pop Cop. Michael, thanks, Eric. Great stuff. Agreed. 4th minute, and the 5th set was the worst. Yep. Yep. Ditto, Robert. And that's it. It just creeps up on you pretty quickly, and then that's it. What would you recommend watching on the monitor during the workout like this? Okay, I'm a bit of a stickler for how I look at things. I have my force curve on most of the time. Okay, and it's just from my rowing days. One thing to remember, everybody, is that no matter what you're seeing on the screen, whether it's watts, calories, time, splits, average splits, whatever you want to see, the idea is to have consistency. Okay, so if you're looking at a 2-minute split, and I'll just use it as a round number, you don't want to go out to 206 and then down to like 155s. If you see 2 minutes, you want to be 158s to 202s, depending on what you're thinking about in the stroke. Okay, if you're going real high, real low, it means that we're really not quite grasping what we're trying to do in terms of that consistency. So whatever you're seeing on the screen, it's all about the consistency. So you want to just find something. And this is why when we do a workout, it can be mentally draining, because if you are really focused on all the parts of your stroke, okay, and I'll try and get through this as quick as I can. If you're thinking, I've got to come into the front. I've got to push. I'm going to hang. Oh, is my body coming in at the same time? Yes, it is. Or, okay, when's the arms coming in? Oh, the arms coming. Got to have the arms around the back. Now the arms got to go forward. I've got to have soft legs. Am I coming forward here? Or am I feeling it? Or my feet, my toes coming into the front? Or am I getting the right kind of front? See how much stuff you've got to think about. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. Hence why you can't think about it all at once. You've got to think about, right, I'm going to think about the rhythm around the front now for the next 10 strokes. Okay, now I'm going to think about the hands around the finish now for 10, 15 strokes. So you do those, you break that down, and then you watch what's happening up here. And if you start thinking that front, boom, and you get a little bit of, and it might slow down for a couple of strokes, and you think, okay, I'm just going to think about that again, now you're back on the number. Okay, so that's the thing, is looking at the number, just seeing what you do and how that affects your speed. You might go slower by a split, but it might feel better. That's cool, okay? Don't always think that getting a faster speed is better for you, okay? Because you could get a faster speed and a minute down the track, now it's slower by 3 splits or 2 splits, whereas you could have made a change, gone no faster, but you've managed to hold it, okay? See how it works? So it's really just looking at what you're doing, and then as you're doing things, seeing how that affects your speed, how it affects your body, how it affects the stress, your muscles, the relaxation, okay? And so it is really just a personal preference on what you're doing. I like the force curve because even though it gets a bit funky, if I don't quite get my timing right, all I'm trying to do is see how, when I make a change, what it does to my curve. Okay, and all the curves are slightly different. I want it nice and smooth. I don't want to see the dots like too scattered. I want them nice and smooth so they're joining in on each other. Even if there is a little bit at the front, if I get it off too early or the back comes through a little bit later, don't mind it. I just want it nice and smooth, which means that I've got a nice consistent speed, nice consistent open through the middle. Okay, and that's really what I look for. You have been watching the power curve and drive length particularly. Help me focus on technique. Yes. That's it, okay? And it really is a personal preference on what people are doing. Whatever numbers you focus on is your preference, but it's about making those numbers for you as consistent as possible, okay? It's as simple as that, okay? No matter what we do, what anybody does on the machine, it's about consistency as much as possible. Because if the numbers are going up and down so much, what do we not have? Consistency. What does that mean? It means some strokes we're like pushing harder than others, and then we forget about it, or where some strokes we've really used the body off the front, which can give us really good numbers. But then when we start going back to doing it properly, now the numbers might drop again, but we'll be like, oh shit, now I've got to lift again. So it's just about seeing what you're doing and trying to keep them really consistent with a variation that's quite minimal. Okay, I would try and say 6-3 either way is a really good starting point. Okay, if you can keep it even less than that, that's great. But it is really trying to keep it as consistent as possible so that it's just smooth. But it means that we're trying to amalgamate a whole lot of strokes that are very, very similar to one another. And if we can do that, that's when we hold that consistent speed for as long as possible. Okay, and we see it all the time. You'll see it on social media. You know, people, they go for consistency because they'll send a screenshot of a training session, and everything is like, say, 210 splits at 22 rating, the whole lot for 30 minutes. You know, and all they've tried to do is be consistent. And I know that that's a goal. It's a pretty cool thing to do, but they're just trying to maintain it all the way along. And if you can do that for as long as possible, it just enables you so that you know what a consistency looks like. So when I say to you, look, I want you to do 3 minutes at 28, means that now you get on to, say, a 155 split or whatever it is, and you hold that the whole way. Okay, and so consistency is one of the big crucial things that we're trying to find. Okay, thanks team. Thanks everyone. Later time next week. School, boy, all the other bits and pieces. Keep work up, everyone. Okay, doing really well. There's lots in the pipeline. I'm currently working on quite a high-end 2K program, which is very physiologically demanding. And when I mean that demanding, I am not talking that in very light terms at all. Okay, it will test even the best of us. Hence why I look a little bit ragged, because I've been doing some of the sessions and they're not overly enjoyable, but I'll tell you what, they get you some really good money in the bank. So, awesome work. Keep it up, team. Remember, go get vaccinated. Don't be a bell end. Social distance. Wear a mask. Do what needs to be done. We want to come out of this at some stage. And yeah, New Zealand's struggling at the moment. We don't have many cases, but we just don't want to get many. So she's an interesting scenario over here at the moment, but that's fine. I'm good. Family's good. Keep trucking along, everyone. Keep working on what you need to work on. As I say, go back and do some workouts. Keep your training going how you like it. Mix it up. Do other stuff, whatever it has to be. But at the end of the day, love coming here. Love sharing some little bits and pieces which are going to help you along the way on your journey. So awesome work. Keep it up. And until next week, peace out. Keep safe, team. See you later.